parking lot, a storefront, or a flea market. Okay, this is Santa Monica Boulevard back then. There was a store, an occult store. I don't know, the Black Raven, whatever the hell. And it was very small, very narrow. My dad knew the proprietor. Her name was Carmen. She had a daughter named Crystal, and they were bona fide witches. But they had been there, that store had been there God knows how long. It's probably the first store on Santa Monica Boulevard. And you know, it's all, you think go in, oh, witchy powders and dried bats. No, the woman had a sarcophagus in the back that I saw with like a pentagram on the ground, and like, you know, the witching hour is like, you know, like cocktail hour for them. And that was wild that it lasted as long as it did. Across from there was a place called Yellow Submarine. Now, Yellow Submarine, of course, was taken from the Beatles song, and the entire cafe was painted Yellow Submarine Beatles. The outside was all from the cartoon, the whatever movie, or movies or cartoons, I don't know how many of them were, Yellow Submarine. So it was wild. And it was called, of course, health food, because everything at that time, in and around that time, was health food. There was like no fast food, you guys. It was like Pup and Taco, like these places you'd never heard of before. So health food was everything. Now, just down from the witch store was a very, very old Art Deco theater. Again, deteriorating like everything else, like the flea market parking lot next door to it. But my mother and I used to frequent Pioneer Chicken. Pioneer Chicken is actually next to what is ground zero for cruising in West Hollywood, in that area called Vaseline Alley. Google it. It's not really compelling enough for me to discuss, but it was basically the spot for cruising. It was like the, you know, I don't know, whatever, the caldera, you know, like mini area of an alley. Ooh, Vaseline Alley, a big surprise. So next to that was Pioneer Chicken. My mom used to go there. My mom practically went there every night. One day when we went to Pioneer Chicken, the theater, the Paris Theater, this, you know, this Art Deco or whatever, was burning. So we actually sat there and ate our chicken watching this institution burn to the ground. And we found it, yeah, my mom and I had the weirdest friggin' relationship on the planet. Okay, so the Paris Theater burns down, we're finished with our chicken. Next to Pioneer Chicken was Lily Sincere. Now we're talking old stripper, but like fantasy burlesque, but lingerie burlesque, something or other. Her name was Lily Sincere. She was a very famous burlesque artist. I don't know, like, not just that, but yeah. And this store was there forever. And I mean, this woman, she was Lily Sincere. And it was like, you go in there, not that I frequented Lily Sincere, but it was like literally no one had touched anything on any rack anywhere. And she was back there like, you know, I don't know, powdering herself or having a cigarette or whatever. I did visualize her once. Ooh. Now we have what was known as Louisiana Purchase. Now, you may have heard of French Market, like, you know, again, sort of ground zero of Midway, a little East End. And it was this institution. Oh, the French Market, every queen remembers the French Market. Well, it was actually a Louisiana Purchase. And it was not really a French Market looking place. It was like a Louisiana Purchase. It was all ornate, like Baroque Louisiana. It was not French. I mean, yeah, I guess you can go there, Cajun, whatever. But it was like a plantation. I mean, it was like it felt like you were going into a plantation in like, I don't know, Mississippi. So very odd, but didn't change and maintain that clientele through the French Market days. So as we move east, sort of, let's go towards the end here. There is what became a series of very, like, you know, like notorious gay disco, not gay disco, but like clubs. But before then, right next to Louisiana Purchase, French Market, was an establishment that became many of those things. But before then, it was called the Pink Pussycat. The huge marquee was a lady's fishnet leg with a cat, like, you know, sidling up and licking the knee or whatever. And that was, again, an infamous strip joint, burlesque house, whatever. You know, the Roxy Theater on Sunset used to be a burlesque house for years. Very, 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 very popular. So this was a strip place that my dad snuck me into, again, area of my youth, teensy-weensy youth. And he decided that I needed to see the Pink Pussycat. So he pushed me in the door, distracted the maitre d'. I was behind a curtain. I saw a full burlesque act, which actually is very memorable. I can remember it very clearly, until the maitre d', or whatever they're called, was very angry that my dad had slipped me into the Pink Pussycat. I should have grabbed a napkin, right? So now we're at the dead end. We're heading, you know, again, West Hollywood has jurisdiction, everything past Fairfax, which is when it starts to roll into, like, you know, the WeHo ghetto. And so to give you an idea of that end, that's where you have, again, 17 million storefronts, just like Melrose was at this time. Melrose was not that. Melrose was literally furniture shops and like empty storefronts. But where is now some billionaire whatever was the Paris House. The Paris House is where you went in literally to pay, or you may have seen this in movies, to go into a room and there is a plexiglass between you and the sex worker of sorts across the way. You go into the room, you pay, and then the doors or curtains open, and there you are with a plexiglass between you and a naked woman having a conversation over a phone. Dig it. It was actually in the movie Hardcore with George C. Scott. If you want to see a clip from that, it's in there. Then we're getting way East End. We're talking Okie Dogs. Again, we've been there. That's when, you know, Sean was more East Ender. Let's put it that way. So, again, I hope this did more than just sort of give you a roll of addresses, but actually gave you a feel for walking actually through what is all considered West Hollywood LGBTQ Mecca. It was not that. It was just this unincorporated area of nothing that I happened to live in and around my entire life. So there you go. From the Five and Dime to the burlesque house, I think we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I hope I was true to my preview, as scant as they are. And again, what can I say? I adore you guys for being here with me every night. Every night. Can you get a load of that one? And as they used to say, I got a million of them. So until tomorrow, with teasers, clips, shows, and previews, take good care. And I look forward to seeing you, as always, tomorrow. Okay? Bye.